Right, everyone, warm welcome to the Stocks and Shares ISA Millionaire Blueprint. I'm going to basically just break down in this presentation why these ISA accounts are minting thousands of millionaires across the country at this moment in time. As I'm sure you've been seeing all over the news, people are becoming extremely wealthy from investing very small amounts of money each and every month and retiring with tax-free passive income. Okay, and as you can see in the headlines on this slide, you got people retiring with 8.9 million pounds. Okay, and they're retiring when they want to retire because unlike traditional pensions, you have access to these investments at any given time. All right, these stocks and shares ISAs were launched in 1999. Okay, so we're talking 20, how many years is that now? 25 years ago, and people are sitting on 10 million in 25 years. Now, this is incredible because the numbers of millionaires are growing rapidly. And you have to remember, for all of you who are tuning in today, some of you, or probably most of you, are already paying into a pension every single month. But as you know, who retires with millions in tax-free passive income from a normal pension? No one. And there's a reason why. And I'll be showing you in this presentation exactly why this opportunity is your ticket if you act quick to basically having an early retirement, earning millions from small monthly investments, which is just an eye-opener for many of you because so many people believe I can't become rich and wealthy because I don't have a lot of money to invest, and they don't even realize £250 a month invested into your ISA accounts will make you a multimillionaire. And I'm going to go through the numbers with you and you'll see it in real time, and it is beautiful and it's available to you, but just so many people just don't understand because they don't have the knowledge and the education. But that's going to change today, and I'm going to help you get there. All right, so look, £250 a month invested over 35 years. Okay, so every month you put 250 into your ISA and you get a 12% return on that money, which is the long-term average of the US stock markets. Okay, you get 1.3 million. Now, some of you are probably already putting £250 into your pension. And how many of your parents did put £250 in their pension? And how many of them are sitting in 1.3 million in tax-free income? No one. Okay, but this is the opportunity which the ISA accounts allow you to do, because as I'll be showing you, unfortunately pensions don't get 12% returns, but the stock markets, well, they get more than 12% returns. But this is just the long-term average. Last year in the stock markets, 26% in the US. The year before that, 24%. The year before that, 19%. Stock markets are just the most powerful way to grow your money, which is why the UK government's given you the opportunity to invest in the stocks and shares ISA, because the governments know, what the rich and wealthy have known for centuries, that investing in the stock market is actually the least riskiest way to get wealthy, and having a pension is the most riskiest way to get wealthy. Riskiest way to get wealthy, because no one you know is a multimillionaire in a regular pension. And it's not because they're not starting with enough money, it's because they're not getting the rate of return you can get in the stock markets. Okay, so £250, you're a millionaire every month. You do £500, you'll be sitting on 2.7 million compared to sitting on 1.3. Okay, again, over 35 years, getting a 12% return. Some of you are probably investing even more than 500 a month into your pension at this moment in time. And if you max out your pension and you put in, if you max out your stocks and shares ISA and you put in £1,666 per month because you have a £20,000 a year allowance, that's how you get to the 8.9 million that people are getting to. Okay, so these are not just random numbers. These are just people that are maxing out their ISAs, getting a really good return in the stock markets, and allowing their money to multiply and grow and compound over long periods of time. And everyone's going to get to retirement. The question is, where are you going to be? Are you going to be where everyone else is, having maybe a couple £1,000 a month, like most pensions? Or are you going to be sitting on 10 million? And when the market goes up 26%, you can pull out 2 million a year on tax-free passive income, because that's what these people are doing. Okay, so the opportunity, guys, is unbelievable and it's beautiful. Okay, and these are the numbers. You can't argue with the numbers. These are real numbers that you can even plug in for yourself. So if you came over and you went to the compounding calculator website, I'll show you how you get to these numbers. So again, you could start off by just saying, all right, if I get 12% return, okay, and I put in £250 a month, and then I compound that every year. And compounding simply means you just keep the money in and you keep reinvesting, okay? I don't know how many of you, how old are some of you? Some of you may be in your early 20s, mid 20s. So you've got until retirement, a really good long period of time. That could be an extra. If you're in your early 20s, that could be 55 years maybe, or 50 years for an example, 40 years. I don't know how old some of you are, okay? But let's just call it 45 years, right? You get 12% return putting £250 into an ISA over 45 years or 40 years for an example. Look at the numbers, guys. The numbers are fucking scary. There you go. You're getting 2.4 million in retirement. Some of you may be in your mid 30s. So you're around 35 years, you still be a multi-millionaire. I know for some of you, you can max out your ISA. Okay. So when you're maxing out your ISA, especially for you in your early 20s, but even in your 30s, look guys, you're getting big numbers, 9 million. So the numbers are really beautiful and powerful. And for some of you in your 20s, God, you lot are really laughing. In your early 20s, you'll be sitting on 28, 30 million in tax-free income. Okay, so the earlier you start, the more your money grows in the stock markets. And with AI technology, with high-performing technology companies, which are trillion-dollar businesses, these companies are making your money work for you, okay, as you invest into, which I'll be breaking down for you in a lot more detail. So, becoming a millionaire has never been easier, okay? You can dismantle the myth that I need to have a lot of money to become rich. No, you don't. You can just make small investments over longer periods of time. And it's a guaranteed way for you to become a multimillionaire. Okay, and how did I get to that number? Just have a look here. The long-term average of the US stock market is 12.8%. If you go back to around the 1965s, it goes down to around 10%. But now we've got technology stocks. Now that we've got AI, the stock markets are really booming. Okay, so it's a powerful time. So people have been listening to me. They're seeing the opportunity, and I've been helping them. I'd like to introduce you to one of these people that recently got their stocks and shares ISA set up with me. I just listen to what they're saying, and you can see the opportunity which is in front of you.
Morning guys, Nick Ferguson here. I just wanted to jump on and give a big shout out to Kayan and his team just for the fantastic service and the support that they've given me since I joined on this trading journey. Because I felt so comfortable, I decided to take a leap and do the course. And I'm telling you guys now, it's paid off. I now understand what drives the markets, what doesn't drive the markets, and it's relatively easier for me to now put on trades without having, the little thing in the back of your head saying, oh, should I do it? Should I not do it? I just want to say that compounding is the way forward. I set up my stocks and shares ISA the other day. Kayan made it really easy. He broke it down in a way that suits me. It doesn't put me out financially. Obviously, I've got a family, so on and so forth. So, we want to make moves and we want to invest, but we don't want to do it stupidly. But all the information that he's given me has enabled me to go forth and set up this stocks and shares and ISA and put money in there without no worry. So why would you not do it? Listen, I want to retire at an earlier age so I can look after my family as soon as possible. And I'm telling you guys now, I'm just a normal guy out here. I'm just a normal guy out here. But Kayan has put me on. And I'm telling you guys now, if you haven't done it, get it done. All right? The power of compounding is here and now. Why would we not want to take the opportunity and take the leap and get it done? All right. So if you guys haven't done it, please jump on it. We're all in this together. And yeah, let's make some money together and retire as early as possible. Cool.
So yeah, that was a great testimonial. So alongside, which I'll be showing you shortly in the presentation, me guiding you guys and just showing you and helping you get to your early retirement and showing you exactly where to place your money in these powerful funds. The education that I'm also helping people with is allowing you to do this with so much confidence, because the lingering question so many of you probably have is, okay, but I don't know anything about investing. How would I know where to place my money? So on and so forth. And they are very rational questions that you'd probably think in your mind. So most people would just give money to a pension fund and say, oh, can you do my pension for me? Not realizing how easy it is if you have the education to do it yourself. You miss out the pension fund, which I'll show you is actually stealing money from you every single month with hidden fees. and then you're getting hit with government taxes, and it just means that no one retires wealthy. And as I'll be showing you, you don't have to be an expert basically to learn how to have tax-free passive income for you to literally have an early retirement, be a guaranteed millionaire, and create the dream life and build generational wealth for you and your family, because it's right in front of you. But just so many people are unaware of what's available to them. And it's very frustrating, because think about what most people do. They work 9 to 5 and they think working longer hours is going to make you rich. No, it's not, because you never get back your time. Okay. You end up saving money and you think that you're getting richer, but you're not. You're losing money to inflation. Pensions means you will just get by at retirement, because the pension income you earn is never someone sitting on 10 million, never. And again, it's not because you're not investing enough money. It's because the pension funds, which I'm going to show you, are investing into things that will never grow your money at the rate of 12%. And they're stealing money from you with fees, hidden fees, which I'll show you completely erodes the power of compounding and growing those small investments into huge amounts of money. Okay. And then government taxes will absolutely destroy you when you come to retirement. So many people don't even know that you're actually paying money into a pension, which you already pay taxes on. Then when you get to retirement, the government's going to tax you again. You didn't even know that, most people. So when you get to retirement and you're withdrawing your pension, maybe that's $2,000 a month or whatever it is, you're getting taxed on that. 20%, 30%. If you go into the higher tax brackets, 40%, even 45%. People are unaware of that. And it's sad. It's because the education system is designed to keep you ignorant. So the pension funds get rich. The governments get their money. But if you know what to do, you can avoid all of that. And that's a beautiful opportunity which is available to all of us at this moment in time. Okay, so as I was saying, like, for most of us, the reason we're doing a pension is because who's educating us? Does the education system teach us about money? Nope. Has anyone ever told you how easy it is to becoming a multimillionaire with £250 a month? Nope. And if they don't teach you this, what do you think you end up doing? Giving your money to a pension fund who pretends they know so much more than you when they don't. They just know that you're ignorant, so they take advantage. Okay? And then ask yourself the honest question. Do you really believe the governments look after the rich and the wealthy, or just ordinary people? We all know who the governments look after. Okay, so all you need to do is just get the same education as the rich and the wealthy people, do the same thing that they're doing, and you get the same results, because the opportunity is in front of you. Okay, so guys, remember, you're not a victim in life. We can create the life we want, but you just have to take the right decisions and take the same actions as people getting the results that you want, and you will arrive at the same destination as them. And the beautiful thing about these ISAs, if you teach yourself this education and then you do it, you can then pass on that knowledge to all your grandchildren, all of your friends, and you can set so many more people free, which is the whole point of these ISAs and getting the education. Okay, so the reason why no one retires wealthy in a pension, and if you don't have a pension, it's even more scarier for you, because when you get to retirement, all the time when you want to stop working, if you don't have a pension, you're going to be getting a government pension. Did you know the government pension right now is £800 a month? Who can survive on £800 a month? No one. That was why during COVID, when we had the hyperinflation, you were seeing all over the news people in food banks having to get food given to them in the cold, having to decide, do I put the heating on or do I just not eat? Because that was the situation. And this is 6 million people in the UK. And it's not because they didn't earn enough money when they was working. They did. They just had no idea what to do with it. And they paid the cost of suffering when they didn't have to. And that's why, like, for me, it's very personal, because it's like, I watched the news and I'm like, damn, only if they knew. But again, who was educating us? The education system didn't give us that knowledge. So for all of you watching the video, if you don't have a pension, this is a very, very big wake-up call for you, because it will get scary for you when it comes to retirement, and you can't rely on the government to give you enough money to survive. So you will be in extreme poverty if you don't have a pension. And for many of you, the reason is because government pensions only rise by 2.5% to keep up with inflation. So when you had the energy spike after COVID, that was why people was just in extreme poverty. And the governments can't give you any more because they can't afford to. Okay, so we need to take control, and we need to make sure that we're set up to win. All right. And then private pensions. So hidden fees is a killer, and then their investments that pension funds do for you is what really puts the nail in the coffin. So for most people who invest into a pension, right, they're investing their money is getting put into low growth investments. So pension funds usually put money into things like bonds, very secure but low returns. Bonds will really maybe go up by, I don't know, depends on the interest rate at the time. But pension funds will put your money into low growth bonds, and they're averaging around 3 to 5% a year, right? But what you don't realize is that 3% growth in your pension, right, compared to 12% return growth in your ISA is huge. And then when I show you about the hidden fees, you start to realize why you're really getting murdered by the pension fund, okay? So here you go. Let's say two people put 10 grand. And for 20 years, one person gets 3% return, which is what you're getting right now on your pension. And the other person puts in a stocks and shares ISA and gets 12%. Look at the difference by the end. One person has £86,000. The other person has £17,000. This is why everyone putting their money into a pension, no one is retiring with millions. Why? Because pension funds are putting it into secure, low growth things like bonds, which are guaranteed to get you a return because it's the government's debt. Okay, governments don't ever go bankrupt on their debt. However, it doesn't make you rich and wealthy, right? And they call it secure investments. But what you're going to realize when you look at the stock markets, which always got throughout history, and I'll show you the reasons why, this is actually the most riskiest way to get yourself to retirement because the outcomes are pathetic and your retirement is going to be horrible. You can't provide for your family. You can just about provide for yourself. And it wasn't because you didn't have enough money. It was because these pension funds, as I said, have been investing into low growth assets that will never get you wealthy over time. So we are trying to massively avoid this scenario, okay? Because this is the scenario that 99% of you are going to find yourself in if you don't set yourself up. Okay, now hidden fees. Now this is what really kills so many people. So let's say you have, again, you start with zero, okay, and one person is getting charged 0.16% in fees inside their stocks and shares ISA, which is the funds that I can show you how to invest into and get the lowest fees, which means every year when we're doing that compounding, more of your money is being compounded. And the average fees in a pension is around 3%. Now, look at this. Let's say two people put their money, right, away and they invest it. Both of the people get the same rate of return. Let's just say a conservative 8% return on their money over 30 years. One person has 0.16% in fees, which is what you get in the ISA. And then one person has 3% fees charged by the pension fund, which is what most people are getting charged. Did you know? I can't believe this when I show you this. By the year 30, one person has 600 grand, right? The other person has 1.1 million. 1.1 million. That's a £500,000 difference in one person's pension compared to one person's ISA. One person's getting 1.1 million in tax-free income. The other person has 600 grand, but they're going to get taxed on every withdrawal. Okay, they both got the same rate of return, but one person just paid 3% lower in fees. And this is what's also killing everyone. So let alone do you get this 3% return on your money, then these hidden fees just annihilate all of the compounding that your money could get in a pension. And this is why no one's retiring with millions. You see the problem here? Pensions are set up for you to make the pension fund wealthy, the government to get their taxes, but you don't retire the way you deserve to retire after working so many years, blood, sweat, and tears. And then this is what happens. You get robbed from fees and you get government taxes. Okay, so it's a scary situation. And for some of you who are investing in pensions and you have a very high paying job, so let's say you're on 500,000 a year or more, again, let's say you get to retirement and you're pulling out your money, you don't realize because you're on such a high tax bracket, you fall into the 45% tax rate. So let's say at retirement, you think you're going to be getting 8 grand, you think you're getting 8K, but 8K a month puts you into the highest tax bracket. So you actually walk away with 4,000 taken away from you in tax because you moved into the higher tax bracket. So with a pension, you're literally forced to only withdraw small amounts per month so you don't go into the higher tax bracket, so the government takes more and more of your income in tax, even though you pay taxes on the money you put into your pension. I mean, if that doesn't wake you up, guys, I don't know what will, because why would you do that when you could just do it inside of an ISA and get no tax and get high returns? So taxes, government fees, government taxes, pension fund hidden fees, and then low growth investment in bonds. There you go. That's why you now know why no one's retiring with millions. It's as literally as simple as that. Okay, so how do we fight back? You just need the information to show you what the rich and the wealthy are doing, and you'll get the same results. So a stocks and shares ISA allows you to take control of your financial future by investing in high performance stock markets, ensuring you get tax-free high growth investments that guarantees that you're going to be a millionaire, as you saw in all the news headlines. Take the same actions as the rich and wealthy, you get the same results. Okay, and you can help many other people in your circle and your family do the same. Okay, so the power of stocks and shares investing, the power of compounding with no taxes, okay, and low fees but high growth returns in stock markets gives you generational wealth. All right, so let's break down what stocks and shares ISAs are. Okay, there are now 5,000 UK millionaires pretty much now. Okay, we've had an extra 1,000 people minted in 2020. Okay, compared to 2015. So the numbers are growing rapidly. Okay. The average millionaire portfolio in ISA is 1.4 million. And I showed you how easy it is to get that. That's just £250 a month. The highest reported ones are 8.9 million if you max out your stocks and shares ISA monthly allowance, 1,600. Okay. And remember, guys, this only started in the 1990s. So these are the rates of returns people have got by just starting and doing this consistently. And there was a 14% increase in Hargreaves Lansdown, who reported 1,300 ISA millionaires inside of their platform in December. So the amount of millionaires using this company in the UK is growing rapidly. So we want to be part of this community of rich people making tax-free income. All right. So why is the stock markets your ticket to getting wealthy? Well, you need to just think about it. 90% of these ISA millionaires are invested in the stock markets, okay? And what does that mean? You're basically investing in the biggest companies on earth, right? So you're going to be putting your money, okay, into certain funds that are buying all of the biggest companies in the world. So your money is going to be invested into Apple, Amazon, Google, Tesla, Microsoft, okay? These trillion-dollar corporations, Netflix. And as these businesses innovate, create new technologies, okay, grow their earnings, you get to leverage off of these people and their genius strategies in business, and they make you money whilst you sleep. Okay, and this is why the stock market's got 26%, 25%, because the biggest companies in the world always find a way to meet the needs of consumers, and these companies mint trillions in business revenue. Okay, so the biggest corporations on earth, they now work for you. And you become an owner and no longer just a consumer. So if you've got an Apple phone, well, guess what now? Apple's going to be making you money when you sleep in your stocks and shares ISA. So you own all of these businesses, okay, at once. So your risk is diversified, okay, which again, this is why it's a guaranteed way of becoming a multimillionaire, okay. Now, all you need to understand is that stocks rise throughout history, okay, we're currently around record highs, is because the growth in earnings of companies is what drives stock markets higher. So investors will always buy companies as long as businesses can grow their earnings. And businesses always grow their earnings throughout history because of innovation and technology. And that's what drives earnings. And humans are very creative. We'll always find new ways to meet the needs of consumers. Okay, so this is why stock markets keep rising up no matter what happens throughout history. Think of every stock market crash that's happened. It doesn't matter. Stock markets just continue to march higher. That's why the UK government are allowing you to invest in these stocks and shares ISAs, because they know this is the easiest way to get wealthy and the safest way to get wealthy. If you used to go online now and go into Forbes and type in all the richest people in the world, where is all their money? It's not in cash in the bank. They own stock of their companies. This is where all the wealth is generated. Okay. So the governments have set this up, probably to let all their rich friends do this, but you can take advantage and do the same thing and again get the same results. So as long as the economy is growing, which is GDP, I don't need to get too much into this, okay? This growth in the economy and earnings of businesses is the same thing. So if companies are growing their earnings, the economy is growing. Central banks and governments work hand in hand to make sure the economies grow. This is why structurally stock markets always rise throughout history, okay? And the governments and central banks will never allow the economy to contract, okay? Which means earnings of companies will decline, and they're going to use interest rates, the money supply, to increase spending, borrowing, and drive up the earnings of companies. Okay, so for some of you who may have been thinking, yeah, but isn't the stock market risky? Well, look, guys, here are all the market crashes going back since the 1980s. Every time you get a market crash, which happens once every 5 to 7 years, the markets rebound the year after straight away. Rebound, rebound, rebound. Even the 2008 financial crash, rebound. After 2008, the US stock market went for a huge growth. The stock market went up 400% over the next 10 years. Okay, so look, stock market crashes, nothing can stop stocks from rising over time. Okay, World War I, World War II, the Great Depression, hyperinflation, okay, COVID, the dot-com bubble bursting in 2000, the 2009 financial crash. Nothing can stop the stock market from rising. Okay, so that is your proof that throughout history, you don't have to worry about stock market declines. It's part of the business cycle, okay? But it always continues, okay? The stock market always continues to rise. And this is why it is your safest way to get wealthy in the stock markets. Because if you really believe, I don't think the stock markets we've got throughout history, what that basically means is you're basically making the assumption, I don't want to put my money in the stock market because it might fall and I might lose my money. Well, that basically means you're saying that all the biggest companies in the world are never going to make a profit again. Really? Is that a rational argument? When has that ever happened? Again, it's the safest way to get wealthy because here you go. Here's all the things that's happened throughout history. But stock markets will always rise because humans will always spend money, and this will grow the earnings of companies, and investors will keep buying these stocks and shares, causing their prices to rise, and you passively make money off these businesses innovating and being creative. So it's a guaranteed way to get wealthy. Okay. And again, look at the stock market returns. 2019, 28%. So imagine one person's getting 3% in their pension, okay, and the pension fund's skimming them with hidden fees, while you're getting no fees, pretty much 0.16%. You're getting 28% growth in your ISA. This is why people are getting very rich. 28%, 16%, 26%. You get 1 year, it goes down 19%. It rebounds 24%, 23%. And you enjoy tax-free income from these investments, and you're paying low fees, so you're getting rapidly growing accounts. And here you go, GDP and the stock markets. Remember I told you earnings of businesses and the economy go hand in hand. Here you go, economic growth and stock market returns move together. Guys, look how long this is going back, since 1947. This is the stock markets. This is economic growth. This will never change because governments and central banks work together to ensure this continues. All right. So as I showed you the numbers, you can plug in the numbers for yourself. For some of you who are even in your 40s, you do this for the next 20 years, you're going to be a millionaire. Max out your ISA accounts. Some of you who are in your late 30s, doesn't matter. You'll still be a multimillionaire. In your mid 30s, okay, you'll be a multimillionaire. In your early 30s, if you're in your 20s, you're going to be really laughing. Okay. But remember, you can retire at any time. Once you're getting up to 800 grand in your ISAs and then the market goes up 26%, you're making 250 grand a year in tax-free income. But once you get to these levels where you're sitting on 8, 10 million, now you're really wealthy. The market could go up like 28%. Do you know how much money that is? If you've got 3 million from just investing 500 a month and the market goes up 28%, you're pulling out 800 grand a year in tax-free income. But just remember, you try to take out over 125k in your pension, 45% to the taxman. You try to take out over 50k, 40% to the taxman. So what are you forced to do? That means you're forced to only take out 4,000 a month just to stay in that tax bracket. Well, these guys are pulling out 800 grand a month and just living the life of their dreams. Not because they didn't invest more than you. Nope, they just did it in a tax-free, low, high growth, environment, and avoided the pensions. So guys, it's easier than you think, okay? Here's another example. 20 grand invested. One gets 3% in the pension. One gets 11, 12% in the ISA, in the stock markets. One person by year 30 has 50K. One person has 450 grand. They both invested the same amount of money. They literally both invested. This is just a one-off 20,000, by the way. You put in 20K into two investments. One gets 3% in the pension. One gets 12% in the ISA. They both don't invest another penny. One person has 500,000. One person has 50K. This is why no one's retiring with a lot of money in their pensions, guys. It's not rocket science. Okay, so you have to make a decision. The consequences of having a pension are very dire, guys, okay? You can't access your money until you're in your retirement age. So for some of us today watching this video, probably going to be your mid-70s because they keep raising the retirement age because the governments can't afford to pay all these pensions, okay? So there's a clue why they set up these ISAs as well, okay? So they're left with less of a burden. Hidden fees, okay? Kill your compounding. Low growth destroys compounding. And then to put the icing on the cake, you get double taxed. You get taxed again when you pull your money out for money you already paid tax on. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be doing that. Or you can do your ISA. You can sell your shares at any time. You pay low fees, which means you get high growth compounding returns on your stock market investments. And then you get tax-free income. Beautiful. Who doesn't want to have that? All right. And what you have to ask yourself is, what is the cost of not taking action? The cost is money saved will never change your life because you're going to lose it to inflation, the value of your money. The time you spend doing the same thing over and over again will yield you the same results. So you're going to get the same results as everyone else if you continue with a pension, or if you don't have a pension, even scarier for you. No growth in your pension is going to kill you. And no personal development because you don't have the education to pass on to your children, your grandchildren, your friends to make a significant difference. However, if you invest into your ISA and you invest into your education, what does that give you? More money will come, okay? You get your time back because you can retire when you want because unlike a pension, you have access to your money at any given time inside of an ISA. Okay, so you can basically choose your retirement. The new knowledge will change the way you think. Okay, and that will give you new opportunities. Okay, it's going to open new doors for you to have a life that you truly deserve. So you have to ask yourself, are you going to stay stuck thinking like a loser? Unfortunately, I don't want to call anyone a loser. Or you're going to position yourself to be a winner. Okay, because this is what, unfortunately, the losers are doing in a pension. And this is what the winners are doing in an ISA. And you have a clear choice which direction you can go in, guys. Because the education has been given to you now. You have the knowledge. All right. So, again, you have a pension, you can't support your family during retirement, okay, because you don't have enough coming in and taxes are killing you. You can just about financially support yourself, but you can't really live the life that you want. You can't travel all around the world and look after your grandchildren. In health emergencies, you may be sitting in A&E because you can't afford private healthcare. And then you have no legacy because you have nothing to leave for your family, okay, and you didn't really teach them anything. However, if you do invest in your ISA, you will not have a missed opportunity, but you will be the millionaire in your family. You're the one be earning tax-free income. So you have more money to be generous with for your family and your loved ones. You have the best healthcare. You can build generational wealth, okay? And you have an income strategy where if you're sitting on a £9 million stocks and shares ISA account and the market goes up 28%, you can literally pull out, guys, and think about the maths here. You can pull out 3 million a year in tax-free income. Whilst anyone in their pension takes out more than 125 grand, they lose 45%. But you don't have to. You can get the tax-free income, which is just unbelievable, right? So I want to help you become a multi-millionaire, guaranteed. I'll help you set up your ISA accounts. I'm going to show you the best funds to purchase and invest into, okay? Because you can set up an ISA account with your bank account, but it's not about your bank account or whatever you want to do. You have to choose the fund with the lowest fees because I've shown you how much fees can kill your returns. So I'm going to show you how to get the lowest fees. I'm going to show you the exact funds for you to invest into so you own all the companies at once. So your risk is completely diversified. So you get those high growth returns with low risk. And I'm going to give you a free bonus course that I have. Okay, so you're going to learn about the stock markets, what drives the stock markets, how to track economic data, Okay, and you can learn it in your own time. And that's going to give you the knowledge to pass on to your grandchildren and build generational wealth so they know what to do. So when you pass away, you can pass on this money, but they don't fuck up and just go spend it. They learn to live off the interest. And you can learn how to know when stock markets can continue to go higher. And you'll be learning about all the stock markets around the world. So let's say the US goes through problems, you can take your money out your ISA and move it to European stock markets or move it into Asian stock markets. So you need this knowledge so you always know the best performing funds to invest into, because that is very crucial, and you learn all of that in the course. Okay, and then also for some of you who would like to be funding your ISAs and get even more money into your ISA, because let's say some of you can only afford to put in 500 for an example, but you'd want to max it out before you join me. Listen to some of the results of people who also you'll get access to is my training community. So I'll show some of you how to generate additional income to fund your ISAs by training alongside me and my community. Okay, to date I've helped over 6,000 people. Currently I've got around 500 people in my community who are training alongside me, and this will allow you to earn extra income because you've taken the education, which is free for you, and you can trade alongside me, and this will be able to fund your accounts. So this is one of the guys. I want to show you what he did with $1,000 and how much he made from being part of the community, and this will be available for you. Was you trading before you joined me?
Not properly. Done little research on trend patterns and all them kinds of things, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, and more time you're just frustrated, isn't it? Because you're not understanding why things are moving the way they're moving and all them things. So definitely doing the course has helped me with that.
How much did you say you made in total so far?
I think I've cashed out probably close to
£12,000. That's not bad, man. And how much did you invest when you started?
I said probably $1,000.
That's like a 12 to 1 risk to reward there.
Yeah, for sure.
So Benjamin put in £1,000, he made £12,000. And once he made that £12,000, Benj, put it in your ISA. There you go. So if you need to make additional revenue, additional passive income, using your own finances and using your own money to fund these accounts, I can show you exactly how to do that. And that basically only takes a few minutes out of your day trading alongside me, where I basically can send alerts to your phone and you can learn how to just basically copy the same trades that I'm taking, etc. And this allows you to earn a secondary passive income, which you can then fund into your ISAs, and it will actually allow you to get more time back as well, because you don't have to work so much to earn money. Okay, so I'd like to also show you some more success stories very briefly. Okay.
Hi everyone, my name's Dan. I'm from Surrey. I'm currently a member of Kayan's markets trading community, and I have been for 3 months now. I purchased the full service, the online education, all the courses, and the one-to-one mentoring, access to all of Kayan's trades, the signals, and education. The service is second to none. It's absolutely phenomenal. I'm currently $7,500 up between my two combined funded accounts.
7,500. Now Valerie is another member who is part of my community. She has an ISA set up. This is an incredible story. I wanted to see how much Valerie made as additional income that she's funding her ISAs with, and how much she started with. It's actually inspiring. You're probably one of the best performing members I've ever had. Let's talk about how much you started with, where you got to, obviously then what you end up taking out.
I put in £200 and I grew this to 41,000 through Bitcoin. Then Kayan's reached out to me like, this is amazing, close your trades, secure your profit. And I don't know what happened, guys.
It's human emotion and greed, which is really why I tell people about risk management, protecting their accounts, number one, and not letting emotion get the better of them. But you still you end up taking out 15,000 profit, right?
Yes.
That is still incredible. What have you decided to do with the money that you've won then?
I bought a kitchen.
You bought a kitchen? You bought the education as well?
I bought the education.
Right, so that was Valerie. So Valerie had £200. She grew it up to 60,000. I kind of trimmed up the video because it was a lot longer testimonial. She walked away with 15,000 in the end. £200 to 15,000. Okay, so yeah, I mean the results are phenomenal. So she funded her ISA with the money. She bought a kitchen. Okay, and this is what you will get for free as part of this ISA educational setup. So it's absolutely beautiful, guys. Again, just a few more. These are guys who are also trading currencies with me. So in my trading community, I'll also be trading currencies, crypto, as you saw, stock markets, and just listen to what some of the other members have earned in my community.
Hello guys, my name is Connor, and as you might have seen from some of the screenshots that Kayan has shared, I've made over £10,000 now trading with Kayan. I started in January, so in just 3 months I've made £10,000 following Kayan's signals, following his advice, following his trading education. And like a lot of you, maybe you have an interest in Forex, you have an interest in trading.
So yeah, beautiful story from Connor. This is another guy who bought my Forex course. He turned 5,000 into 25,000, which was incredible. So have a quick listen.
Hey, what's up? This is a video testimonial for my man Kayan's Markets. Bought Kayan's course about a year ago and immediately learning the fundamental reasons why one currency moves against another, the global economic factors that will contribute to the strength or weakness of a currency. Was really enlightening, and the value that I've gained from the course is tenfold over other courses that I've paid a lot more money for that were just a bunch of back testing garbage that really didn't teach you any fundamental reason why one currency would move over another at any given time. Started an account at the beginning of the year with $5,000, started trading live, turned that into $25,000 so far. And
so there you go, 5,000 into 25,000. So the education that you're going to get about the stock markets, like he said, is going to give you an understanding of what drives the stock markets. But what you're really going to learn about, guys, which is actually beautiful and powerful, you're going to learn how the world works. And this is not just about investing education. You can go and have conversations with people that you would probably never be able to talk to people about, but your breadth of knowledge is going to be incredible. So people are going to look at you differently. They're going to really know that you know your shit and you're a very interesting person who understands global markets. You understand what's causing stocks to go up or down in value. It will introduce you to people you probably would never be friends with. Okay, and that's what we want. Okay, so you have trading income, okay, by being part of this community that comes with the ISA setup, okay, and you can use that trading income to fund your ISA accounts, and you can use that trading income to have more time for yourself so you don't have to work as many hours. So that's what I can guarantee you because I've done it, and there's so much proof and testimonials of what I've been able to achieve with the thousands of people I've been able to help. So yeah, I want to basically help you, okay, become a multimillionaire through the power of stocks and shares investing, the power of learning the fundamentals that drive the markets. You pay no taxes, you'll pay low fees on these ISA accounts, but you'll get high growth returns. You'll earn tax-free passive income. It's your money working for you, and you can build generational wealth, okay? So guys, if you scroll down the page,
hey guys,
you'll see a bunch of testimonials of people that I've helped set up with their ISAs. You're also going to see a lot of testimonial of the people who are part of my trading community for you to earn extra income, and you'll see all the results, which are super inspiring. All right. And look, guys, every week I take on 10 people. Okay. My time is scarce. There's a big demand. Okay. You're going to get a free course that comes alongside your stocks and shares setup. Okay. Well, this will really help you with your education for you to do this with confidence for the rest of your life. All right, I actually charge $5,000 for this, and this is going to be part of your package, okay? But only for the first 10 people that come across each and every week. For some of you who already have a pension set up, I'm going to show you how to stop your pension payments and now take your pension payments and move them into your ISA instead. And for some of you who are unfortunately getting really low returns on your pension and also getting hit with hidden fees, I'm going to show you how to transfer your pension to the same place where you set up your ISA. Okay, so again, your pension will now start growing at 12%. And then you'll obviously have your ISA growing at 12%. So at least whatever you put into your pension, that will turn probably into millions. But when you take your pension revenue out, you will get taxed. But at least you'll have millions on your ISA that will be coming out tax-free. Okay, so this is all done automatically by the stocks and shares provider. So you don't have to do anything. You can request for them to request for your pension to remove the money from them and transfer it over, because these pension funds will try to stop you from taking your money because they're taking all the hidden fees and that's where they're earning their bread and butter. Okay, so look, guys, don't miss out on the opportunity. Secure your financial future. You're guaranteed to be a millionaire if you do this, and I would love to help you. All right, so please click the link below, speak to my team. And if you qualify in the first week for the first 10 people, I'll set you up immediately. And I look forward to your education, being part of the training community. If you don't want to be part of the training community and you just want to set up your ISA, we will set you up within 15 minutes. All right, guys. Thank you. Take care.